we'll be discussing the endangerment of giant otters in the Amazon area. We're going to go to Cassandra to learn a little bit more about their lifestyles before we get into deep about the issue at hand.
Thank you, Cassandra. It starts off with one breeding pair at the head of a family monarch. However, all members of this family will assist in babysitting and raising the young, gathering food, protecting the family when a threat is prevalent, and they will even assist in older generations in gathering food for them when they no longer can hunt for themselves. These otters can stay together for up to 10 years, most of their life, and from there they produce offspring that do go to create their own family groups. And it is of these offspring that not much is known, since it is difficult to gather information with their lessened population and given the terrain of the Amazon area. These breeding pairs can stay together for up to 10 years. They will produce offspring that go off to create their own family groups. And it is of these offspring that not much research is known, not from a lack of attempt, but mostly from their lessened population and the very tough environment that the Amazon holds to gather this information.
Very interesting. How large can these giant otters get?
These otters can range from head to tail in about 6 feet. That is about even bigger than the size of the average person, and definitely bigger than you and me.
Are large and apex hunters in the Amazon. From the 1940s to 1973, they were devastatingly hunted for their lobster skin. This hunting almost completely decimated the entire population, and in some areas did bring them to be locally extinct. And it wasn't until 1973 where commercial hunting was banned. Now we know, even though it was banned, does not mean that it stops all actions from happening. Today, illegal poaching is still a threat, as well as mining and deforestation of the areas that they live in. Around the Amazon area, there is mining for gold. And when they're mining for gold, mercury is often brought up as well. The mercury, however, is not safely contained to where it will not contaminate. That means that this mercury will leak into the waterways and contaminate all of the land and areas surrounding it. Now, Cassandra, how does this mercury release into the area affect otters directly?
That is a very good question. When mercury leaks out into the environment, it contaminates all that lives in the waters. Much of this life, fish and crustaceans, is part of the otter's main diet. However, they do also survive off of small mammals like birds and even snakes. But when there is contaminants in the water, there is no source for these other animals to also live, to which they will leave to find other suitable environments. Deforestation is a big effect as well, because when you take away what little environments they have to live in and also contaminate their food, they just have absolutely no means to survive. Here we can view one area where the forests have been cleared, water's contaminated, and it leaves this otter just with absolutely nowhere else to go.
Now, if you can see very closely in the distance, there is one single otter. He is far away from his home. There is no deep forest and no rivers to let him survive. We do not know what happened to the rest of his family, but all we know here is that he is alone. The chance of survival for this one is young. His family could have been poached, killed, or even attacked by other local fishermen and farmers that find these a threat to their work.
That is such a shame for that poor otter. But there are conservation efforts done by local groups here in the States as well as in the areas of the Amazon. Much can be done, such as bringing awareness to the local groups that also inhabit the same locations to show them that they are endangered, but they can coexist.
Here we are in Argentina to see if we can find those pairs recently released back into the wild. In this national park, there is no threat of poaching and no threat of mining as well. As you can see, there is perfect environment as there is thick foliage for them to create family and protect themselves, and there is a waterway here. And then here, if you look close, you can see the pair released. They seem to be successful in their current hunting, and with hopes that they continue to gather and grow and form a family group.
Of course, there is more still to be done. As we gather more knowledge and experience and study these animals more in the wild, we'll be able to know what more we can do to help ensure their success rate and to eventually, hopefully, one day, remove them off from the endangered animals list. Thank you for listening to my broadcast, and we'll see you again tomorrow.